This is the Good Government Show.
Those communities actually came together to form a regional partnership. So it's not 3 or 4 counties competing each other. They're actually working together and figured out a revenue share that makes it very efficient. In addition to being mayor, I'm a professor at Glenville State University in the business department. All the infrastructure is there, but one person didn't want neighbors, so he bought up all the other lots and will never be able to develop it. It goes back to the more land you had, the more power you had, which doesn't really apply these days, but it's just that mindset of, well, my grandfather farmed this land, the house is there, the old homestead, it's falling down, but I'm not going to sell it. I mean, Grandpa would be upset if I sold the land. A lot of these small communities, people run unopposed year after year, get in and become part of government.
Coal. Once it powered the nation, and in coal country, it powered the local economies. Today, some of those areas are very hard hit, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But it's a different tunnel. It's not a mine, and the light isn't coming from a miner's lamp, but a new spirit of new industries, and importantly, new hope and a new direction. Welcome to the Good Government Show. I'm Dave Martin. First, help us share the message of good government by liking us and sharing us where we are on Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Please share our show with your friends and review us where you're listening. And join our Good Government Show community. Check out our website for the link. As listeners of the Good Government know, I've been talking to many government leaders throughout coal country. It's an area that's undergoing a huge transformation. Earlier this year, I was invited to attend a conference in Washington. The National Association of Counties created a forum, Building Resilient Economies in Coal Communities, BREC. I heard a lot of positive progress. A few episodes ago, you heard from Cora Nagy of Giles County, Virginia, who talked about how tourism is having a big impact. Tourism brings people to the area and it creates jobs. It's making an economic difference. Plan a trip to New River Gorge in West Virginia and see for yourself. On this episode, I talk with Dr. Mark Sarver. He's the mayor of Glenville, West Virginia, and this is in central northern West Virginia. He headed the forum. He'll tell you he visited 20 coal communities and took a detailed look at the issues and the challenges the group saw across the nation. As you will hear, there are programs in place and work is going on. It's progress and it's making an impact. So in just a moment, Dr. Mark Sarver, and a look at how they are indeed building resilient economies in coal communities. What if World War I never happened? What if these 3 royal cousins, King George of England, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, and Tsar Nicholas of Russia chose peace over pride? Good Government Show executive producer Jim Ludlow has just released a new book. The Royal Cousins is a gripping alternate history that imagines how diplomacy and courage could have stopped a war that took 22 million lives. If only they'd used the principles of good government. Download The Royal Cousins now on Kindle. It's powerful, timely, and just 99 cents. And all the proceeds support our work here on The Good Government Show. Just search The Royal Cousins on Amazon today. Welcome to The Good Government Show, the voice of public service. I'm happy to have with me Dr. Mark Sarver, who is the mayor of Glenville, West Virginia. Welcome to the Good Government Show.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy being here.
Thank you. We are talking because you just presented at the Building Resilient Economies in Coal Communities Forum, and you headed up this organization. Just, if you could, in a word or two, just tell me what this is all about.
Great. So they selected 20 leaders from across the country, from communities that were impacted by coal and coal closures and everything related to power plants, coal mines shutting down, and how that impacts economies. And a lot of those communities are small communities. And so they brought together 20 of us, and for the last 2 years have been traveling to different places, whether that's physically traveling or bringing people in through webinars to learn about how communities are adapting, how they're adjusting, and then to be able to take those practices back to our communities and nearby communities to help offset what's happening with coal.
In a nutshell, what's going on in these coal communities? I mean, coal is coal production is not what it was.
Correct.
10, 20, 30 years, even 5 years ago. So what's the effect?
Yeah. So when my grandfather worked in the coal mines, it was, you go in, you didn't eat much lunch because it made you too thick to crawl in and actually dig and blast the coal. So a couple of things have happened. The technology related to coal mining. It takes far less folks to actually mine coal. It's much more efficient, but also just the negative perceptions about coal, the clean energy, the moving away from fossil fuels. And so those two things coming together have caused a lot of coal mines to shut down and to really have a huge impact on those communities. Those were high-paying jobs, and now they're not there anymore.
Right. And I think you said in the forum, we're here at the National Association of Counties, and in the forum that we just attended for coal communities, I think you mentioned you went to visited in one way or another 20 communities around the country. Where did you go?
Oh, so we first trip was into southeast Virginia, and looked at like Wise County and some of those areas where they are really doing some innovative stuff. The Commonwealth of Virginia created a huge fund with tobacco settlement money to spur innovation and entrepreneurship, and some of the things.
A good use of tobacco money?
Great use of tobacco money. And so those communities actually came together to form a regional partnership. So it's not 3 or 4 counties competing each other. They're actually working together and figured out a revenue share that makes it very efficient. So when they're out recruiting, they can say, we've got lots of places for you to go. Which best fits that company that's moving in? We were in Wyoming. We were in northwest Colorado. So when you fly in, Craig, Colorado's to the left. The big ski resort in Colorado is to the right. And it really is a difference between the very wealthy in that ski community and then those folks. And in Craig, they had coal plants that were shutting down, and they've done some really innovative things. I talk about a food warehouse where they brought in local entrepreneurs and created a restaurant incubator. So for $600, if you think you can make your grandmother's spaghetti and you want to try to have a restaurant, you can do it for $600 a month versus trying to set up a whole restaurant for hundreds of thousands of dollars and just risking that failure.
So let's just look at, the 20 communities that you went to across the nation.
Yes.
Some places like Wyoming do not spring to mind as coal country right away.
Right.
What's the couple of big things that you noticed in terms of changes that are happening, things that are going on?
Yeah, great question. So every community was unique, whether that was in Wyoming, and Wyoming is a huge producer of coal, and so much of their state's revenue relies on that coal taxation. And I mean, they're having shortfalls of 50-60% of their budget.
Well, I know from towns in West Virginia that I've been to, that where they had 10 mines and they got revenue from 10 mines, they're down to 2 or 3 mines.
Yes,
so
if
the
they
revenues,
have that,
right. So the revenues cut dramatically because the coal companies pay the local government a tax for the coal they take out of the ground, correct?
Absolutely, and generally they're good citizens. So if you need a playground, that coal company would build the playground for the community. Or if you needed a new hospital, they would help with the new hospital.
Okay.
So not only do you lose the tax revenue, you lose that great corporate citizen in your community. For example, where we are in Gilmer County, West Virginia, our mines closed years ago. We're oil and gas now. But the impacts of coal, people remember when there were coal mines. People remember when those good jobs were there. Right. And so we have to shift our focus to different, whether that's tourism, whether that's... Well,
let's talk about that. So what's happening? What give me some, let's paint a prettier picture.
Sure, absolutely.
What's going on, and tell me about some of the changes that you're seeing.
So I think it's really caused communities to think about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship just happened, which is not true. You have to have a focused effort. You really have to do things to recruit entrepreneurs to your community and support them. And so some of the things like with the food warehouse or business incubators, allowing those companies from an entrepreneurship standpoint to grow and flourish and to help them and really make that conscious effort to build that eco-structure for entrepreneurship. Other things, there are other, in Wyoming, they're recruiting big companies to come in. TerraPower, they're recruiting small modular nuclear reactors. So they're still staying in the energy game, but they're just using different forms of energy to do it.
You talked about, I think it was business innovators.
Yes.
What's the response been, and are people moving in?
They are. West Virginia has what's called the Ascend program. And so it actually pays remote workers to move into these communities in West Virginia, and it gives them stipends, it gives them tax benefits. You get passes to the state parks. I mean, and it really is a way, and they're finding. Is
this a good use of government money?
It is.
Why?
It is. It brings.
Why would you pay someone to move to a state? Why would you give them money? I mean.
So what it does is changes the dynamic of your community. And one of the examples in Greenbrier County, the average household the average wage was $45,000. These people that are part of the Ascend program, because they're working for corporations that are paying San Francisco wages, New York wages, but you're living in Greenbrier County, West Virginia. The average salary was almost $100,000. So you
Double.
now. Yeah, double. So now you bring those people into your community. You now have a new tax base. You now have people who are spending money. They're being entrepreneurs. And
how do you manage making it still affordable for the people who live there and grew up there, and then that's their home too?
Yeah, so it becomes tough. We were used to home prices that were really low, particularly in our area of West Virginia. But part of the study that we did with ARC was looking at how the lack of modern housing has impacted our ability to recruit professionals to our area. So we have a hospital, we have a university, we have a federal prison. All of those pay really well, but we have trouble recruiting them. We're 15 miles off the interstate, which is a beautiful place to be, but
close but not too close.
Close but not too close. And we don't have the Walmart in town, so you have the small businesses. But when you try to get those people, they want that modern house. They want that 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,800 square foot modern house, and we simply don't have it for a host of reasons.
So this is something you jumped into before I was ready, but we'll go there now. You recently completed a study for the Appalachian Regional Commission on housing, correct?
Correct.
What are your findings?
So in really 2 counties around us, Gilmer and Calhoun County.
And before, let's define Appalachian Regional Commission. This is a region-wide commission in how many states?
13 states, and it encompasses all the way from New York through Georgia. West Virginia is the only state that is fully within the ARC counties.
The entire thing? Okay.
Yeah, the entire state is there. And we participated through what was called the Appalachian Collegiate Research Initiative. So in addition to being mayor, I'm a professor at Glenville State University in the business department, and we applied, and our students actually did the research. It was spurred because my wife and I moved to town to be at the university, and we couldn't find a house. And so it just started like, we have a housing problem, and some of the locals didn't think we had a housing problem because they've lived there forever.
I got a house. What's the problem?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And so we started looking at what those factors were, and we found some common threads. Land hoarding goes all the way back to when Virginia and West Virginia
I live in Brooklyn.
State.
We can't land hoard. Explain that.
So, it went back to being part of the Commonwealth.
What's land hoarding?
Getting as much property as you can for you, not for, and one of the examples we use just outside of Glenville, West Virginia is a subdivision with 15 estate-sized lots in it, and the 4 houses that are there are $500,000, $750,000 houses. All the infrastructure is there, but one person didn't want neighbors, so he balled up all the other lots and will never be able to develop it. It goes back to the more land you had, the more power you had, which doesn't really apply these days, but it's just that mindset of, well, my grandfather farmed this land. The house is there, the old homestead. It's falling down, but I'm not going to sell it. I mean, Grandpa would be upset if I sold the land. So you throw in land hoarding, you throw in heir issues. So houses passed down without a will. And so 3 or 4 generations, you now may have 156 people who have a fractional interest in that house because it's passed down for generations. And the ability to sell that property and find all 156 to sign off on it is almost impossible. we have old housing inventory.
Yep.
Most of our houses were built in the 30s or in the 70s. And some of those are dilapidated, and we're trying to mitigate that by tearing down those old houses and make available. But then we have a lack of contractors.
Okay.
The plumbers, the electricians, the framers. We just don't have a lot of those in our area. We have a great VOTEC program, so students graduate high school in building trades, but the oil and gas industry scoops them up, and as an 18-year-old graduating high school, they'll give you a truck and $70,000. You're probably going to go into the oil field.
I have talked with other people about the idea of tearing down houses almost kind of one by one.
Yes.
And the idea is it removes an eyesore, it removes a garbage pile, it removes vermin infestation, other problems with homeless and other people moving in.
Yep, drugs, people in there.
Where does the money for that come from?
In West Virginia, we have a state program called DLAP, and communities can apply for it, and they're helping us tear down these buildings. We've torn down.
And is this a lot of money? Is this a big expenditure?
I think for the state overall, it is. We in the city of Glenville received $65,000 this year to tear down houses. So
and how many houses were you able to tear down?
We'll probably get 4 torn down for that.
Okay. So it's a start, right?
It's a big impact. And
Is 4 a big impact?
It is, because the properties we're tearing down all have infrastructure. They have water. They have sewer. They have everything you need. And now we've gotten an eyesore out of the way and can build a modern house on that spot.
As long as you get more contractors to move to Glenville.
And we're working on that too. I mean, we've the research the students did generated a lot of interest. The National Association of Home Builders has talked to us about trying to get home builders to think more rural. There's a lot of opportunities. We think we can build in those 2 counties 35 to 50 new houses a year. That becomes economies of scale for a project like that. It's not just 1 house or 2 house.
You talked in the forum that you just chaired about a lot of different topics. There was downtown restoration. There was using outdoor natural resources, hiking trails, lakes, stuff like that. You talked about different funding projects, bringing in remote workers. All of these plans.
Yes.
Is any one of them the solution, or or do you have to incorporate everything?
Yeah, it's a great question, and depending on the community. So all these communities we visited were so different. I can speak for us. For us, we're working on a river project to bring tourism downtown. We're working on a business incubator. So. We're a college town with no coffee house, and that just to me seems really wrong. We tried coffee houses, but
when I was in school, it was a beer bar. But yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure how much the federal money wants to be spent on beer bars, but we are looking at a model where we're building a Chick-fil-A model. The city will apply for, get grants, and build the coffee shop. So the entrepreneur doesn't have that $100,000 investment in trying to build out a coffee shop. And the way Chick-fil-A works is you're not a franchisee, you're an owner-operator. $10,000 to get a Chick-fil-A franchise, you make hundreds of thousands of bucks and split the profit with Chick-fil-A. At any point, you're not living up to their standards. Somebody from Atlanta shows up with a $10,000 check and you're done.
Really?
And so we want to use that model. That's
why the chicken sandwiches are always really good.
That's why you get the greatest service at a Chick-fil-A, because they don't want it for $10,000, lose all of that revenue. So we're looking at that with a coffee house. And so we can go get the money, do the build out. Maybe it's $2,500 that the entrepreneur comes in, has a coffee shop, and then our plan is to split it 70-30 with the entrepreneur. 30% means we can put that money back into some other incubator type program.
Okay.
We have some things we want to do with duck pin bowling. We're fortunate we have a state park. And then we have the Sue Morris Sports Complex, which brings in 15 to 20,000 people a year to play softball, baseball, these traveling teams. They all spend money. And
their parents spend money.
The parents spend a lot of money in that. Yes, if you're on a traveling team, you spend lots of money. A way to provide a place for them in between games can go, have a good meal and maybe do some duck pin bowling, maybe have an arcade that's in a facility close to it. So if we can prove the coffee house model, we have other ideas we want to do to spur that innovation and entrepreneurship.
So 2 years you've been studying housing for the Appalachian Regional Commission and your students.
Yes.
For the last while, you've gone to 20 former coal communities and current coal communities with a diminished coal capacity.
Yep.
Are you optimistic that government is bringing about positive change?
I think we're on the right track. I think some of the repeals that the new administration may be looking at doing, the drill baby drill, the dig baby dig, to bring coal back as a
it's not realistic.
With new technology, it's pretty realistic. I mean, I think there are some opportunities to really bring back that as an energy source. It's an important energy source, and we have a lot of it. But I'm encouraged by, just the fact that for 2 years we were funded to go do this research and to build these sort of best practices.
Yep.
And part of the commitment was, if there's a small rural town that likes what Glenville, West Virginia is doing, they can pick up the phone, call me. We've made a commitment to be available for any community that maybe, whether it's coal or maybe it's a manufacturing plant that's closing, they're still impacted even though it's not coal specific.
So the Coal Communities Forum is sharing information.
We are.
You are sharing information. So anybody who's listening, they can call you directly.
They can.
They can. All right. We'll pass out your number later.
Perfect.
Unless you want to give it out now. Do you feel like government is part of the solution in coal country in terms of changing the thinking, the mindset, and the direction towards a brighter future?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm just finishing up a class for our graduate program on public policy and the economy, so it's kind of timely. And we use real case studies, and we talk about coal, and we talk about the pharmaceutical industry, which is in real trouble because we've outsourced all of our major pharmaceutical drugs. And so for the government to very strategically invest in those areas that not only provide a great economy, but some national security. If we can't get our blood pressure pills, things are going to be bad. So I think if the government is very strategic, they can really make those investments that will have a huge impact, not only on the country, but in local communities also.
And what have you brought back to Glenville, to your city, from all this?
So yeah, it's part of it is just a network. So when I run across something, I'm like, oh, I know who I can call to.
I can call Bob in Wyoming.
Exactly.
He knows.
And have that conversation.
Yeah.
We are working on a river project with tourism. We are working on those business incubators and ways to get the economy going. And we're working on housing. It's tough, but we've partnered with the university and some of the other companies to really start being very strategic and make them realize there is a huge market for this. And some developers are now being courted and interested in building those modern houses.
All right, when we come back, we're going to get to your philosophy of government. So
awesome.
Be ready. The Good Government Show is sponsored by Our. That's OUR for Our Community. Get involved. We hear that all the time from government leaders. Our co-brands with your government's name and logo. Your staff and the people you serve are connected and part of your community. From any device, your members provide reliable data and meaningful feedback. Ask a question like, do we want more parkland or better homeless services? More engaged conversations come through the Our app. Visit Ourco, that's OURCO.com, and book a demonstration.
These are difficult times, and if you believe in justice, progress, and democracy, the news you read and listen to can be pretty depressing. And that's why there's a new podcast called Good News for Lefties and America. Every day it features positive news stories for progressive listeners, because no matter how disturbing the headlines might be, there's always hope we can build on for a better tomorrow. Good News for Lefties and America. Listen on this platform at goodnewsforlefties.com or wherever podcasts are heard.
This is our Good Government Questionnaire. We're going to get to the heart of what you really think about government.
Okay.
All right. So, you're the mayor now?
I am the mayor.
Before this, did you have another job, elected job?
No, this is my first.
This is your first? How's it going?
It's going really well. And
how long?
I have to clarify.
How long is mayor?
1 year, April 1st. I was appointed on April Fool's Day. I'll let that sink in.
You were appointed mayor on April Fool's Day
of last year. So we almost have a full year in. And a little bit of it's changing the mindset.
Okay. Well, 1 year in, what is good government?
I think there are some basics you have to provide, good infrastructure, good sidewalks, opportunities for citizens, protecting citizens, good police force. Above that, then start looking at what opportunities exist. How do we get people to move in? Our population in the last 30 years has declined by half. So we have to stop the bleed and have to make it. It's cheesy, but it's a great place to live, a great place to work, and a great place to play. And so we are working very strategically on those three areas to try to get more people to. It's a great little town. It's got a river through it. It's got a university. It's an awesome, beautiful place. Okay. And when the zombie apocalypse happens, we're going to be one of the safest places in the world.
I will keep that in mind. It's not that far a drive from Brooklyn. If people are frustrated with government, if they don't like what they're seeing or they don't like what you personally are doing, what should they do?
Have conversations, get involved, run for office. A lot of these small communities, people run unopposed year after year. Get in and become part of government. Bring your ideas. We live in a great country where you can be involved in the political aspect and be involved in whether it's the city level, county level, state level. There are opportunities.
You are a university professor. That
Correct.
is your main job.
That is it.
What drew you to public service? What made you say, yes, I want to be mayor? I know the answer is for the press and the money.
It is. Yeah, mad mayor money. My research focus is rural economic development.
Okay.
So for me, it was an opportunity, almost like a living laboratory, almost like a live sim city that. What can we do in this community? We know the areas where we need to improve. We see some gaps. How can I take these things from my research, from the students' research, and implement them in an effective way at the local government?
So it's almost a living lab for you.
It is.
Be there.
It is. Yeah. The first lady doesn't like when I call it a living lab, but it really is. It's
that's the lady with the spike heels.
Yes,
she's
it is.
You with already once. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. She's sitting here just off to the left. I'm sure you'll hear about this later.
Exactly.
So did someone inspire you to run for office? Do you have a political hero? Did someone say? Was there someone you said, you know what? I want to try that because I see what they're doing.
No, I just think there was a void, and I've been a serial entrepreneur most of my life, and so for me, this was a great opportunity to take knowledge that I have and put it to practical use.
All right. You're a year in government.
Yes.
What have you learned? What would you like people to know now that you're on the inside that you didn't know previously? I mean, certainly you've done a lot of research and talked to a lot of people, but there's a difference when you're actually, sitting behind the desk, right?
Yes. It's a great question. Some people just want to fuss about stuff, and you're like, that's a great idea. I would like you to be involved in this committee. And they're like, I was just saying, other people have great ideas. We just early on put out a questionnaire on Facebook and said, if money were no object, what would you do different in Glenville? Do you know what the number one answer was?
I can't imagine.
Better sidewalks.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't even on my radar as, I was thinking playgrounds. I was thinking a river project that they want better sidewalks. So right. I think, if you ask people, they'll tell you. And just have open conversations. I have coffee and conversations with the mayor. I'll open up my office. And again, we're a small town. Anytime you want to stop by and see me, I'm generally there. But concerted efforts to get community input. What do you think? Here are some projects we're doing. Where do you see this fitting in? And we've gotten great response.
So you just want more people to talk to you?
More people to talk to me. Less,
all right.
Yes, less yelling about, the streets not being cleaned in the snowmageddon just great conversations, great ideas, and where they'd like to see the community go.
What's the best part of being mayor? The parking spot?
Actually, I don't have a parking spot.
We've already covered it's not the money.
It's not the money.
Okay.
It really is seeing those things that I've studied for years being tried. And I have a great city council, and they're open to trying new things. They know we have to do something different. We are blessed broadband is coming through. There are 8 counties that went together and applied for money, and Glenville is the first city to be to light up with gigabyte broadband. And so we've created a rural technology test bed. So if you're a technology company, a smart city company, we now have a nice little town where you can come test this stuff, a university to help you write your white paper, and it's a great partnership.
So what keeps you up at night, though?
A year ago, I walked into my bathroom, assumed there was water in the commode, and flushed it and really didn't care where it went. And because we own the utilities, we own our water plant, we own our sewer plant, it's those things, from water quality, from cyber attacks, from expanding to, if we want to build more houses, we got to have more sewer plants. Sewer plants aren't sexy, and they cost a lot of money.
They do.
But that's the stuff that I worry about at night is...
the stuff that's not the fun part.
The stuff that's not. Yeah, the other stuff is easy.
The nitty-gritty part.
Yeah.
Did you always see yourself... Did you ever see yourself getting into public service? I mean, you're a university professor.
As a matter of fact, when I was appointed, some of my buddies were texting me going, did the opposition have no research whatsoever? It was not really what I saw. But and as I've done other research, we looked at ARC counties that have moved from distressed. And so 2 summers ago, I spent traveling all across the East Coast, looking at these towns going, what did you do? How did you come out of distress status to starting to move forward? And so from that standpoint, the ability to actually try this stuff is really awesome. But no political, I'm not going to be governor. I'm not going to be a senator.
This is it?
This is it.
Okay.
I'll retire from here and, go put my feet in the sand somewhere.
So we really haven't talked much about Glenville. It's in central West Virginia.
It is, right in the heart.
Right in the heart of West Virginia.
Yep.
Not a big town.
We are about 1,000 people. We have we have a federal prison that has 1,500 inmates just outside of town.
Okay.
And then we have a university which has about 1,600 students. So our population more than doubles 9 months out of the year.
School year.
And it's a cool little college town. It's very safe. We get people from, students from Chicago and LA and Miami who come there, and they first look at it and go, oh my goodness,
what was I thinking?
Yeah. But then they realize, this is a safe community. Parents love it. It really is a great little community.
So what's the thing that, if I was to come to Glenville, what's the signature dish? What's the cuisine of Glenville? What are we having and where are we going?
We have a couple of great restaurants in town, but West Virginia is known for its pepperoni rolls. We have
I've heard
great
of this.
pepperoni rolls.
This goes back to the Italians who came to West Virginia.
Packing it in the buckets for the coal mine, and it stayed. And so I think I would have to get you some pepperoni rolls.
All right. What do you do for fun? When you're off the clock, what are you doing?
We have a great little 9-hole golf course, and my wife and I like to play golf.
How's your game?
Oh, it's not very good at all. No. And it's a great opportunity for constituents to tell me what they think on the golf course.
Okay, all right. Do you get out onto the hiking trails or the river?
We do. We like to go. We have some great lakes. We have the river and mountain biking. I mean, all the outdoor activities we have. And so we try to get out as much into nature and do those things as we can.
So this is the Good Government Show. We always end it with good government. Tell me about a project that you found in your work with resilient coal communities that you really were impressed with and said, wow, that's a cool project.
I think it really, the one that, there were a ton of just really innovative things people are doing and communities are doing. But the one that I keep going back to is the restaurant incubator where, the ability to come in and try it. I think I make the world's greatest hot dog sauce. We call it hot dog chili in West Virginia. I think it's the world's greatest.
Hot dog sauce.
Hot dog sauce.
Okay.
And so, there's this hidden desire to maybe one day have a little hot dog stand or, to have a restaurant. It's $150,000, $200,000. But if I had a little place where I could rent for $600 a month, then try it for 6 months and find out if I'm really good or, people don't like my hot dog sauce as much as I like my hot dog sauce. But that ability to help entrepreneurs experience that and help them get started in a business. And that was in Craig, Colorado. And so I can call up Melody, who is the brick, my counterpart there, and just say, get me in touch with those folks who did it. I want to know their business plan. They'll have a conversation with us. I mean, it's that networking. But yes, I want to create that in Glenville.
A hot dog plant, a hot dog sauce.
A hot dog sauce. Yeah,
a hot dog sauce truck.
The restaurant incubator, so people can come in and we have more choices. And yeah.
All right. It's Dr. Mark Sarver, the mayor of Glenville, West Virginia, and the head of the Coal Communities Resilient. You say it. It's a big, long title.
I'm not the head of it. I'm just one of the members. It is the Building Resilient Economies in Coal Communities, and I'm one of the 20 coalition members. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Good to hear that there's good things going on in coal country. Thank you very much.
Thanks you for having me. I look forward to seeing you in G Vegas.
All right. That's what you call it? G Vegas?
G Vegas. Yeah, that's what we're working on. G Vegas.
G Vegas. Good luck with that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. After you get done with this episode, hear more good government stories with our friends at How to Really Run a City. Former mayors Kasim Reed of Atlanta and Michael Nutter of Philadelphia, and their co-host, journalist and author Larry Platt, talk with guests and other mayors about how to really get stuff done in cities around the nation. Check them out where you're listening now or through their nonprofit news site, thephiladelphiacitizen.org/podcasts. So much good work going on, and that's good government, and that's encouraging. But overall, a long look at what's going on in coal country. Not only are there lots of challenges, but there are also a lot of solutions. Like a lot of solutions, though, there's no one thing that will fix everything, but a lot of different ideas that work together to make change. As mayors and other leaders will tell you, sometimes being a mayor is a lonely job. I've heard it before from mayors who say, hey, we can't do anything, but we're blamed for everything. So having a forum like Building Resilient Economies in Coal Communities allows leaders to talk to each other and share good ideas. And that, folks, is indeed good government. You're going to hear from others who are part of the forum and have other views of what's going on in their coal communities. So make sure you stay right here and listen to future episodes. Oh, and to Mayor Sarver, good luck with the hot dog sauce. Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Please like us and share us with your friends and review us right here where you're listening. And check out our website, goodgovernmentshow.com, for extras. Help us keep telling stories of good government in action everywhere. Join us again for another episode right here. I'm Dave Martin, and this is The Good Government Show. The Good Government Show is a Valley Park production. Jim Ludlow, Dave Martin, that's me, and David Snyder are the executive producers. Our show is edited and produced by Jason Stershic. Please subscribe, then share us, and like us and review us. That's the best way to make sure we're able to keep telling these stories of our government working for all of us. Then listen to the next episode of The Good Government Show.